Hello and welcome back to the Intentionality Matters podcast. My name is Dooso Radido and I'm hanging out here with Rebecca Mlawasi. We've been here for quite some time now talking about intentionality as a strategy. Rebecca is not your ordinary person. She's a leader, she's a thought leader and a co-author of the widely read book, Why Intentionality Matters. Now, we're just about to talk about how to use intentionality as a strategy to thrive in the environments that we are finding ourselves in today, whether you are a student, a career person, a professional, a business person, or you're just invested in your callings or in your ministries. And before we go that, I'll just allow her to say hello and welcome back. Then we can jump right in.
Hello and welcome back to this great conversation. We are here trying to dissect and bring down, the real meaning of intentionality, how we can apply it into different aspects of our lives, and not only look at it from a very narrow way or approach, but try to broaden our thinking beyond what we already are accustomed to. So we're trying to see what possibly could I do, or maybe if I was not intentional, what could I apply today to make me a better person tomorrow? Output, input, output. Yes.
Now, one of the things that defines life is a constant called change. Life looks like a journey that has a starting point that looks completely different from the ending point. And it applies across board, whether you're a child, an adult, you're starting your career immediately, or you are about to exit, you're a freshman in school, or you're just about to graduate. Everybody is on a journey. And therefore, this whole idea of how do you navigate the changes of life, the changing terrains, the changing environments, the changing realities, etc. The complexities that have now engulfed our world today because of the interjection of technology and all these disruptions that come. This makes it very necessary for us to talk about how to use intentionality as a strategy. The first place I want us to start with is how to use intentionality to be able, as an individual. First of all, let's start at individual level. Intentionality as a strategy or a tool for navigating the complex environments that we find ourselves in, breaking through barriers, or even driving fundamental change where change is needed, or even dealing with the change that we didn't want, but life has forced on us. Yep.
Change is inevitable. That's one thing for sure. But how we change, how we, adjust to the change that comes along the way is what defines our intentional journey. So in most cases, you find that most people will tell you they've had to pivot a lot in their lives. And you see, when you're pivoting, I wish I could demonstrate this. When you pivot, you are trying to approach different angles within the same spot. Then after that, now you can choose to either move and do the same from a different perspective. But then when we think about change, we need to ask ourselves a few questions when we consider change as an option in our lives. Is this change a positive or a negative one? What has influenced the change that we want to make? And in applying that knowledge, we are keen to actually also sit and ask ourselves, what impact does this change now bring about? And you project not just for today, but you're looking beyond the now. Because in most cases, we would make changes to fit in the moment. But in the moment might not last as longer. So we ought to think about change as a driver to what your outcome in the later days is going to be. So when you talk about intentionality in relation to change, we are looking at so many aspects. What's, as myself, say for example, let me give an example of the fact that I need to maybe change from one professional to another. This is something maybe I went and sat down and studied, and I have skills. But then I'm exposed to an environment that allows me, not just allows me, but then it challenges me to learn something different. That does not mean then you are first out totally. But you're bringing in a different aspect, changing your thinking from what has been the norm to something different. But if you look at it from a broader perspective, this is something that's going to benefit you in the future. And this is where we also, I think, talked about being multi-skilled. Multi-skill, if you look at, I give an example of this fish which has so many tentacles. We eat it a lot. Octopus. An octopus has 8 legs. And if you look at it, it parts on this side, this side, this side, this side. So it's not limited to one specific way of movement. So we need to be in that space where we can fit in almost everything, regardless of what is the norm for us. So that brings about change, where we are changing not to make a very drastic decision for ourselves, but we are changing for the benefit of our tomorrow. Yes.
Wow, that's good. When I think about change, I look at it in 2 ways. There's a change that is coming from outside, the one that you don't have so much control over in terms of triggering. It is being triggered externally. And then there is one that you can trigger internally. Now, the change that triggers from the external side, you have to survive it.
Yeah.
And if you're better placed, thrive in it,
Yes.
and hopefully use it as a launching pad for greater things. In many instances, it becomes an existential threat if you don't find ways of navigating it to survive it. And looking at it through the lenses of intentionality, if you're aiming at surviving it or thriving despite, then you begin to reposition yourself to be able to acquire what needs to be acquired, drop what needs to be dropped, so that this change does not sweep you or incapacitate you, but provide you a platform where you can either survive, meaning you have been spared and maintain your status quo, or you use it to create something bigger than what you are experiencing currently.
Yes.
And many of us have a problem with change because we do not want to lose the status quo. If every change promised better, we would be okay with it. We would even be inviting it. We would even be visiting change in our office to say, when are you visiting me? But because we are afraid of losing the title, losing the fitness, losing the position, losing the acquisitions. We feel like change is coming to stop my enjoyment. It's coming to stop my season of bliss. And so because of that, of course, many people resist change. And as it is, sometimes change comes and it knocks some people off. Like you see, when COVID came, COVID was not one of the best changes to ever experience.
Very true.
But when it came, it knocked some people off. I have a saying that says that when shakings come, people shake differently.
Actually, it's good you say that, because I was one of those people. Because COVID came in a way that it taught me you can always start from the bottom and still build.
Yes.
Because I was one of those people who lost, I'd say I lost everything. Then I had to learn that you have to build from where you are. If I was this person who was very rigid to change, I'd have easily given up. But I chose to tell myself, you know what? This is what life has presented. What am I doing with, what I currently have?
Yes.
So then you learn to rebuild from a point of knowledge. You come up feeling, a bit more energetic, if I must say. And it also teaches you resilience. Resilience in that, I keep laughing it off. Now I can laugh at, laugh and make jokes about it. Because I say, if I lost it all and slowly built, slowly are still building, I don't think there's anything life can throw at me
that you can't survive.
No. It's like there's a song that goes, I'm bulletproof. I feel that way now. Because something comes, you easily find a way to, a resolve to it. And like finding reason to start shifting blame, reason to start saying, I cannot do this, because that's a common sound in your head.
That's right.
The sound of defeat. But if you embrace it, it embraces back. But if you decide this is not how I want to take life, then it also learns that, this one is a different one. So we are going to work together to make this work. So that alone taught me that life is what you make it.
Yes.
Life is what you make it. And at times situations come, they shake you up in a way, nothing else will come and shake you that way.
That's right.
Yes.
That's good. And sometimes when the force of change is overwhelming, to the sense where it shakes even the very core of your foundation. Most of us would not have a problem if our foundations are not shaking. If it shakes a bit of your life, let's say one or two aspects of your life, you would still say, well, I'm still strong. But if it is so enormous and so intense that it shakes your career, shakes your finances, shakes your relationships, shakes your belief system, your core values, that becomes a threat. And many of us have not built the mental capacity to process that, because many of us are afraid or don't even want to think about life shaken that way. You would say, please.
I don't even want to hear it.
Yes.
But the
God
encouragement
forbid.
is a tree will shed off, it sheds off, those trees which are seasonal, they'll shed off everything. You see it and you're thinking, okay, so why does this tree still stand? But come a season, this tree again, it blossoms. It has flowers, it has all those things. So seasons come and go. And one season has to come to an end for another then to start. And these seasons do not last. They don't last, And the minute people start looking at change in that, in that way, then we make better decisions. Because then you're making a decision based on not just this season, but one that's going to cushion you for another season coming. So then it really avoids that void where, there's that gap where this that was not done, this was not done. I wish I did this, then this would not have happened. So like a jigsaw puzzle. If you're able to tackle it from bottom down or from, across, just to fit in all the pieces together, it becomes very easy for you to say, if I had not put this here, then this one would not have fitted here. So it becomes such a unilateral thing or an advised way of doing things, in that you are not constantly thinking of what should I have done different. But you're thinking, it's good I made this decision. It's good I took this course. Then now that will advise what step I take next. Yes.
Reminds me of a book by Pastor Robert Schuller that says, tough times don't laugh, but tough people do.
Oh, they do.
It's a very powerful book. Now, when you look about navigating, it's about building yourself tough, either to be able to absorb the shock or to be able to bounce back. And the way I look at it, There is a mindset to it. There is an understanding to it. There is a skill set to it. There is a bounce back system, either a bounce back belief or a bounce back, investment that you had set aside, resources, or just a network of people who can help you bounce back, either catch you before you fall or throw you up again because they have the means.
Yeah.
So there's a skill set to it, there's a mindset to it, there's a network to it, there is a willingness to it. Have you met these people who refuse to die? They are supposed to be dying, but they refuse to die.
They want to, they're constantly on the push to, I need to be better.
Yes, they're saying, I'm not dying. Yeah. I know that is death trying to kill, but I'm not dying. I've met people like that. They refuse to die.
Yeah.
They are weak to their lowest point, but they are saying, you know what? I'm not dying.
Yeah.
And they're preparing themselves for tomorrow. But there are people who give up. They say, well, have you seen people who take their lives away? They are healthy, kidney working, brain working, spinal cord intact, nerves okay, healthy, no viral disease, but they put a rope around their necks. Those are people who have refused to live.
Yes. Very true.
And they have now opened themselves up to death. So if anybody is going to navigate change, there has to be intentionality in preparing in advance for possible change, so that change does not always shock you. There are people who get surprised, oh, I'm growing old.
You didn't know you were going to grow old eventually. Yeah.
The longer you live, the older you become.
Absolutely.
So if you prayed for one more year, you prayed for old age.
I know.
Or they're so surprised that I have two years to retirement. Then they get so shocked. Why do you people want to retire me? But you've been working long.
Yeah.
So it's time to retire. There are people who get so shocked that life is becoming more expensive. If you look at the history of the world, life is becoming more expensive everywhere. What they paid for a loaf of bread is not what they are paying for a loaf of bread today.
Absolutely.
Because demand has increased. For every increase in the number of people, there's an increase in demand. And when demand goes up, supply goes down. And when supply goes down, prices shoot up. Or sometimes just dynamics change and things have to change.
Yeah.
So there's a preparedness that makes it possible to survive and thrive. But this whole idea of navigating, in my mind, looks like leading yourself around
change
or over. And many people do not have the leadership competence to lead themselves, even if things are not wrong. But you see, the leadership that you exercise when you're facing a crisis of change is, in my opinion, super leadership, because that is out of the box kind of leadership. It is different from this normal leadership that leads when things are okay.
Yeah.
Now, even when things are okay, leadership is hard.
Yes.
Now imagine how hard it is
when things are not
to lead,
okay.
because to navigate, navigation is associated with sailors and travelers. Actually, the word navigate comes from that.
Yeah.
So if you look at how they navigated, first of all, they had maps and navigation routes, and then they had navigation vessels.
Yeah.
And then there is this preparedness that goes into the vessel, where you have the food for the journey, the water for the journey, the medicine for the journey, the lifesavers for the journey, and some way of doing it so that even if you find yourself in a strange land, can survive. Can you light a fire in a forest where there's no matchstick or something?
Exactly.
Do you have these survival tactics that you can sleep on a tree? Many of us know how to sleep on a bed.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself where life has taken away all the beds, life has taken away all the houses you had, you have to sleep on a corridor, or you have to squeeze yourself in a neighbor's room. They gave you a tiny little corridor in their kitchen.
Yeah.
Can you sleep there, or that will kill you?
Actually, those are some of the things that people need to really consider in because change, I think, as I said, change is inevitable.
That's right.
It's something you can never shy away from. But preparedness to it is what most of us lack.
Yes.
You're not prepared to when it comes.
Yes.
And when it comes, how are you going to navigate it? When you talk of navigation, I also think about the GPRS. It gives you routes of, go this side, go this side. Many times people have made fun of the fact that it even takes you to a cliff where you
turn left.
It tells you turn left, and the left now is a ditch. You're about to go down a ditch. And it's the same thing.
Yes.
If you're not prepared, then it's possible for you to find yourself in that ditch.
Yes.
Yeah.
And survival tactics. My opinion is that good navigation requires survival tactics. If life slashes all the comfort and leaves you with one thing per day,
yes,
one meal a day, maybe a piece of clothes that you will not be able to change, or maybe you have 2 or 3 that you have to change. It slashes, the treatment that you used to give to your hair and to your face and to your whatever. If life slashes your transport systems and leaves you with the basics of using legs, or takes away all the accolades and the positions and the titles that you have, those are examples of changes that can really rock somebody's life. That would need wise navigation to either open up new frontiers in your life or rise up again to either where you were before or better. Many of us do not have survival skills,
which are very key.
Survival thinking skills, survival communication skills. When you are left with a minute to say what you have to say before you are released to go, do you have a survival pitch? There's something you talked about. What do you call it?
Elevator pitch.
Yes. People should have a survival pitch.
Oh, yes.
Like, you see, people who've been kidnapped have had moments where it is a minute between you and the bullet, or a minute between you and that knife being.
I'm constantly laughing and telling myself, I can never ride a bicycle to save my life. And you see, that's one thing I know I'm not good at. I know, but then that's something, it could be a life skill for somebody else. But then if I look at it from my point of view, I didn't learn when I was a kid. So I keep asking myself, do I need to learn this thing at this age?
Oh, you should go to a riding school.
And I told myself, maybe I should.
That could be a survival skill for you.
And we say it as a funny thing, but when you say I cannot ride a bike to save my life, and ask that, poses a question. So then, what if you're faced with that situation?
So that's the only way to save your life.
Save your life. So that
you have to have a way. Because when you talk about navigation, many people think about it as a big word, but if you really break it down to the tiny little things of life, it means thinking skills that can help you in a moment, decision-making skills that can help you in a moment, ability to memorize phone numbers that can help you in a minute. Because one day you may just lose the whole of your phone with all the thousands of contacts you have there, but you have this one phone number that if everything just hits the wall,
you can call it.
This is the number that you can call. Have you even built that network of people that when you call, they won't doubt or ask or question? They say, because you have called, we are deploying help immediately.
Yes.
So those are the tactics. Do you have the emotional tenacity? Because sometimes you just have to survive today because your help is arriving tomorrow.
True.
I remember when I finished college and I was looking for a job. And I had this friend of mine who was a director at Kemri Kisumu. He was a big man there. And he could help, was willing to help. But he was not going to help me immediately. He actually told me, there is a project coming up, but it is in 3 months' time. If you can wait for those 3 months, I will fix you somewhere. And life was pressing me not even to wait for a week or two. Even for that particular day, I was wondering, so how do I keep myself afloat even for a day? Have you been to a place where you're looking for something for a day?
Yes.
You're not even worried about tomorrow. A month now. Now you're saying, all I need is for today.
Yes.
And life pressed me really hard. So you know what I did? I said, while the 3 months are, because 3 months usually come slowly, a day at a time.
They become longer actually when something is promised of you.
So I had to wait for a day at a time for 3 months to elapse. So I told myself, oh my goodness, this is too much for me to bear. Let me begin to look for something else. So I got myself busy looking for something else. By the time those 3 months were elapsing, I was already beginning to entangle myself with something. And so he called and he said, you know what? Now the thing I told you is here. If you're willing, available right now, show up. Do you know I couldn't, because I had already started entangling myself with something else, which was short term compared to that. Up to now, I usually tell myself, I think I missed a big opportunity in that instance, because that place I was not going to be interviewed because he knew me already.
But you know, do you also look at it in terms of some of these opportunities? They don't come to us just because it's not yet that time for us to take up some of these opportunities.
Yes.
I think when I started looking at life like that, because maybe you'd have gotten to this other opportunity, it would not have given you the mind to think out of the norm. You'd be very comfortable in that space. I've also missed opportunities like those. I look back, I'm thinking of by now, I'd be very fine in my career and everything. But I look back and ask myself, if I did not lose this opportunity, then I'd not have an open door elsewhere. And this open door then opened a door for me here, here, and here. So maybe that's also another way we need to look at life. Re-engineer our minds to look at what I call them disappointments.
Yes.
The disappointments, right? Re-engineer ourselves to look at disappointments as opportunities for better things to come. That, for me, that's how I started to look at it. Even listening to you talk about how I wish I had taken this to this. Maybe you'd not be doing what you do today.
That's for sure.
You know, and I'm thinking at times we miss these opportunities, not by sheer luck, but it was intended for it to be the way it
to
is.
redirect.
To redirect. Because there's a comfort zone that comes with an opportunity that's assured.
Yes. And that's a very powerful point you just made. There is what I call the intelligence of life that picks from the pains, the failures, the disappointments, these dead ends that you run into. If you look at very many innovators, like this guy who invented a bulb, he said he tried 999 times. So every failure was redirecting him.
Absolutely.
So that by the time he has a working bulb, he is very intelligent about what does not work.
Exactly. So now he knows.
Yes. So he walks out of the experience, not just with a working bulb, but with a huge resource of intelligence from the lessons that he picked from the things that didn't work.
So I'm curious to the opportunity now you ended up, taking up.
Yes, of course. It taught me, life has a way of, if you're a good student, life can actually make you wise from the hard things that you have gone through. You see, before I started communicating like I do today, I was forced into silence by my inability to master communication. You can't even believe it. I tell people I was struggling with languages in college.
Oh,
and
really?
Nobody believes. And if you look at my high school transcript, English is one of my worst performed subjects.
I'd imagine Swahili, but no English, no, not you.
I used to be very good in Swahili, by the way. I used to speak very good Swahili, and I loved Swahili. I have my reasons. For that. I love my They're teachers I loved. Every teacher I adored, I used to think I am giving them
You didn't know it was for you.
Yes, I didn't. So my English teacher, I had a very bad experience with my English teacher. So, so I wanted to show her that, I'm going to punish you with this bad grade. I didn't know it was going to appear permanently on my transcript. So it taught me intelligence.
Yeah.
And the shift happened for me when I went to college and I met friends who could speak fluent English and they dominated our storytelling sessions. And I asked myself, even me, I have things to say. And the only way to get them out is to master this thing. So I forced myself, this is in college. I forced myself to master it. And that's when I began to read. A friend of mine told me, you want to improve your communication?
Read.
Your vocabulary, your language? Start reading and then look for opportunities to talk. If you don't know what to say, copy what other people are saying. Imagine I'm doing this in college. So my shift happened quite dramatically within the first 2 years of college. I changed and I said, I'm going to do this thing, not just in class, not just for academics. I'll do it because I want to make this a life skill. So for me, communication is a life skill. I don't use it as a professional tool or as a what. I use it as a life skill. The way I know how to breathe, the way I know how to breathe and to bathe and to groom myself.
That's for you.
That's how I take communication.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So when you talk about navigation here, people have to build navigation skills. It is one thing to know things in the head and a completely different thing to know how to use them to navigate. You see, like the way we go to Nairobi town CBD. If you want to beat traffic, there are routes you will follow because you know traffic is on this side of town.
Yeah.
If I use this end of town, I will go and experience town despite the fact that there is traffic. And sometimes life looks like that. This route is jammed. This path is jammed. This career path is jammed. This way of doing things is jammed. Do I have a way of beating the jam and still go to the exact place where I really wanted to go? Yes. So those navigational skills is what we don't have. If you've ever driven on the road, you know that the intelligence of driving does not just depend on how good you are as a driver or how good your car is. It depends on other road users as well.
Absolutely.
So that you have to know yourself, know your car, know the car ahead of you, know the car behind you, know the car that is coming from the other side.
Know how to
you can look at that driver and say, the way he's doing, if he jacks a bit, this is where he will land. So for me to be safe, I will allow room for his jacking.
Stay clear of them.
So that the intelligence of driving is an all-encompassing intelligence that looks at the road, the drivers on the road, the cars they are driving. There are times you meet a car on the road and you see the way it is bended like this. You realize that I can't be moving very close to this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you keep your safe distance. There are some people, you look at the person seated on the driver's seat, and you check their age. You know, we are likely to be. These are people who will be competing with anybody who is doing high speed.
True.
You give them but if you go there and say, I know I'm a qualified driver and my car is in good shape, that's all that matters. You'll be shocked. Because sometimes you will be inconvenienced on the road, not because you had a problem, not because your car had a problem, not because the road had a problem, but because other road users had issues on the road.
Exactly.
So when you show up there, you know that you have to consider all these things in your navigation.
Factors to put into play.
In your navigation.
Yeah.
In your professional space, you may be qualified, you may come from a high-end school and everything, but there is a boss who plays politics in the office.
True.
So despite the fact that you have gone to school, you're qualified, you're experienced, you have to know how to do all office politics.
Oh, yeah.
And some people say, I don't like office politics. You have to like it.
No, you have to like it because you'll experience it.
And sometimes that is the only navigational tool that can work for you in certain instances.
And actually, navigating it is a life skill.
It's a life skill.
Navigating it is a life skill. Yeah.
So that when changes are happening, all of us must get to a place where we have gotten used to change. We are anticipating change. We love change.
Yeah.
So that you don't start crying 1 minute and saying, you know what? They have moved my roles
I did not
to somebody else. Or there's no more funding. You see, like what Trump did the other day?
Oh, yeah.
There's no more funding, so I'm going to die. You should actually like the fact that there's no more funding. So now let's think about alternative sources of funding.
Absolutely.
Or let me now think about an alternative source.
It actually stretches you to think out of the box.
Yes. So if you start doing the things that would be necessary in an environment of change before that change happens, do you know that when that change happens, you start feeling like, thank God it has happened.
I know. I know.
This I knew it was going to happen, and I'm prepared. I'm not even surprised. You see.
Yeah.
Then there's a change that is triggered internally. The one that says, I've been in this position for the last 5 years. Now I want to change it. I want to move. And you begin to trigger it. Usually that is more calculated.
Yeah.
It is more expected. And because you have expected it, usually you are more prepared.
You embrace it better because it's from within.
You see, when you're the one firing yourself, it doesn't bring pain.
No, it doesn't.
Compared to when you are being fired.
True.
Yet it is the same thing. It is you living that role. If you fire yourself, it feels like you're a hero.
It feels like a relief.
Yes.
At the end of the day.
Yes, I fired myself.
Fired, it's so painful. So painful. But then if it's the other way around,
yes,
you tend to feel like you have achieved something. And I've spoken to a couple of people who will tell you they walk into an organization with a plan. So they tell themselves, I'll be here for 2 years. Then I need to look for growth. If there's no growth in those 2 years, I need to
move out. Yes.
And such people have a very clear path in terms of growth in their lives. And you notice that this growth is not just professionally, because it's applied even in how we show up in our different spaces. Because if that's your thought, then you will always show up in a very strategic way in every aspect of your life. That's one thing people don't realize, because all these things are intertwined. If I show up, how I choose to show up today professionally will advise a lot of things around me. A lot of things, because the discipline then, it might not be the same because what is covered, the scope is a bit different.
Yes.
But the thought is the same. That's one thing people don't realize. Yeah.
And there is an aspect of change called growth.
Yes.
We all love growth, but sometimes we don't like what it brings with us. In the corporate world, there's something called the Peter Principle, where people get promoted to their levels of incompetence.
Yes.
Let's say you are a good salesperson and you have impressed the leadership, and they say, as a way of rewarding this one, because we want to make them an example to other people, they're given a promotion. In that promotion, they are not selling.
Yeah.
They are not required to sell. Now they have entered into leadership. In that instance, they have no competence in leadership.
Exactly. Because I feel like it's a level of stagnancy.
It's a growth. It's a promotion. It's an elevation.
It's a stagnant growth. Is there something like that? Is there something like stagnant growth?
It is called the Peter Principle, where you are promoted to your level of incompetence. As in, they promoted you for something that you're not going to do in your state of elevation. So that is growth, but it is going to be very painful growth.
Yeah, because then you're just there. I feel like you're just there.
You may actually begin to feel redundant. you may begin to feel confused, irrelevant, not creating any impact or value because the things you used to do, you no longer do them.
Exactly.
So sometimes this growth may actually usher change into our lives that may require intentional navigation. And it is possible that you grow yourself into the role or into the office, but that will require a lot of intentional effort.
Yeah.
For example, you are needed to communicate, to plan, to coordinate, to work with teams and support them. Things that probably you are not doing as an individual salesperson.
Yeah.
If you are agile enough and committed and are given to it, you can absorb the shock and say, the first 3 months of this thing, I will kill myself to know a little something of what I'm supposed to do here, so that you grow into the role.
Yeah.
But if you are the kind of person who is rigid, then woe unto you, because that is going to be the beginning of embarrassment, poor performance or non-performance, and it's just going to be like, it may actually lead to either you're getting fired or you're being demoted.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, there is this aspect of relevance in the professional space. And I want us to tie this up with the question of intentionality. My opinion is that one of the things that we enjoy in our places of work, business, ministry, or even relationships, wherever, is relevance. Is where you feel I'm delivering something. I'm delivering some value. And for any sane person, any person who is sane and normal, this is one of those cravings that we all have. You want to be felt to be impactful, to be a person of relevance.
Yeah.
Sometimes we get it. Sometimes we don't get it. Yet it is a constant need. I wanted to speak to that just within the professional context and see how we can use intentionality as a strategy for building relevance.
I think, okay, if I look at relevance in relation to intentionality, is more about a positioning thing. It's more of a positioning aspect for me. Because then how do you position yourself in a way that you're not just relevant, but you remain relevant? And it still goes back to most of what we have spoken about: upskilling, learning, unlearning. And you gave a very good example of what Obama had initially spoken into. I think it was podcast. I think it was a podcast.
Yes.
Where he talked about be the one that, keeps things moving. Because if you're that person, then you are constantly remaining relevant, because they say, a lot of times they ask, what do you bring to the table? I know it's a question not many people like being asked, but it's a very relevant question, because the minute you always have something to bring to that table, solutions. You're bringing new ideas. You're bringing, great, solutions to seeing yourself in a better space tomorrow, not just for yourself, because there is the personal growth for you, and there's the one that you do, output to gain for now, if it's an institution, a corporate, or whichever. So now that's, it boils down to the fact that, how am I preparing myself for output? What am I doing to stay relevant? And in this relevancy state of mind, you also have to engineer yourself in a way that you are surrounded by people who think the same. Yes.
That is so powerful. And What I can add to that is there is this ability to scan the environment to either spot present needs or future needs, and then tying yourself around providing solutions to those needs. And that can be either there's a new service or product that will come to be the end thing, or there is a crisis, a looming crisis that you can actually avert by way of sensing it early, and therefore creating your relevance there. Because if you look at what's going on in the corporate space, the way the system sustains itself is by creating revenue generating relevance. And if you look at the hierarchy in the corporate space, a lot of times it follows what value are you providing that now determines what position will you hold. High value people are occupying high positions. Mid-level people in terms of value are occupying mid-level positions. And then low value people would occupy the low positions. When shakings come, usually the organizations begins by shedding off low value people. And sometimes you endanger yourself by making yourself a low value person, because you can be moved quite fast. You can be dropped quite fast. Your assignment can be given to somebody else quite fast. But if you're a high value person, usually organizations even find it difficult to let you go. They can even beg you to stay or find a way of still engaging you if you decide you must go. Can you still be serving us as a consultant or as an advisor from outside and stuff like that? So that beyond chasing the obvious things, I think intentionality should help us to begin to look at things through the lens of relevance. I am getting into that organization, but what exactly am I going to be delivering? Even if they don't ask you, somebody should bring themselves to a place where they are asking themselves that question, and then maybe measuring your impact, measuring your worth, measuring your tenure by the relevance that you command. And if you feel you have gotten to a place where you're not relevant anymore, either disengage or find a way of evolving yourself into something. Because one of the things that many of us don't do is to evolve ourselves.
Actually, it's good you say that. And what comes to mind when I think about that is the fact that we constantly need people who see us for us.
Yes.
When somebody sees you for you and you are walking a path that they feel like you're slowly walking, you're slowly not gravitating towards your relevance side, they will call you out for it.
Yes.
And there's feedback. Because there are people who will see you walking, in a different direction. They know this is what I normally do. But then when they see you drifting, they're quick to point it out. So the minute you surround yourself with people who are quick to call you out for some of these things, and you don't take it in as negative criticism,
yes,
but you quickly take them up and ask, what can I do to stay afloat? If you have such people around you, then the level of relevance will, largely not deteriorate. Because in most cases, why we lose relevance is the fact that you already feel you're comfortable, your output is enough, and at times you even feel like you're actually doing even more than enough, more than what you should be doing. And that is where we go wrong, because you need to be able to have people who check you in, who tell you, it's good you've done this, but challenge yourself to do better. That constant what would I call it? I wouldn't call it mentorship. It falls under mentorship, yes. But then it's a way of life that you have a tribe or a circle of people who see you, know you, and when they see you fall, they're quick to call you out and tell you, you know what, get up.
That's right.
Keep going. Do this, do that. And when you have such people, it becomes very hard for you to not go with their word. Because they'll never tell you that because they don't like you. They'll tell you that because they know you can do better.
That's right.
There are actually people in our lives who project our lives beyond what we see.
Yes.
So at times you might sit and you're thinking, hey, tomorrow I'll just get into this, do that. But at times you have to listen to those people who tell you what they see. At times it might sound like something maybe unachievable, but this is somebody who has seen you beyond what you are today. So in most cases, surround yourself with such people. It makes it easy for you now to even implement some of these things that you continue to feel like unachievable. It becomes very easy to achieve some of these things.
That's right.
And you just consult, keep checking and ask questions. Ask relevant questions, which then are geared towards your output. So that I feel like that for me personally, that has really, really helped in the professional level. Yeah,
that's right. And I think what you're saying there is quite powerful, because what I hear you say is the need for reaching out to people who can give you that feedback and tell you how exactly the world is feeling you. Do you know that many of us go through life without ever asking the question, how did the world feel me?
How does the world view me?
Yes.
And you get somebody who's, even without asking, who can give you such feedback. Count yourself very lucky, because growth for you will no longer be something you are thinking of as something maybe I can do it tomorrow. No, it becomes very gradual. Every day you make a step, because when somebody points out one thing, you move.
That's right.
You move.
That's right.
So for you, movement becomes a constant thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
And you see, relevance in my mind has something to do with the measure of how the community or the people you are living in, the extent to which they feel that you are making their lives better, or you're delivering value to them. So that even in instances where you want to feel like you want to apply this idea of self-importance, you have to stop that and ask yourself, are they feeling me that important the way I'm feeling myself? You see, the way you can cook and you eat your own food and you feel like, I'm the best cook in the world. Give it to people, they will tell you are putting too much salt in this food.
Very true.
So there's a saying about if you think your mom is the best cook, I don't know how that saying goes, but you need to step out to eat what other mothers, other women have cooked before you start saying that your mother is the best cook in the world. Now, beyond that, one of the things that I do personally is to raise the question when I want to assess myself and how impactful I have been, which may be a way of measuring relevance.
Yeah.
Is, are there things that never existed in the world before I showed up that now do exist because of me? For example, this book never existed. Now, because of you, this book now exists. This conversation we are doing today has never existed since the creation of the world. Now, because we showed up, we are leaving a mark in the history of humanity by painting it and dotting it with this conversation.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'd have to stop yourself and ask yourself, is there anything that exists because of me? A business, a life, a success, a testimony, a family, a book, a saying, a quote, a song, just something, and hopefully beautiful things, because there are people who have bad things existing because of them.
Oh yeah.
So if somebody can stop themselves and ask themselves if such things ever exist, and if you can even estimate the value of that. Do you see this idea called M-Pesa?
Yeah.
Do you know M-Pesa came from somebody?
Oh yeah.
And that idea has become a legacy idea.
Absolutely.
It has revolutionized lives. It has given people a way of making money.
Yeah.
There are families that have been running their family economies because of M-Pesa. There are businesses that are now able to reach customers because of M-Pesa.
Yeah.
And as you know, there are organizations and corporations that are now talk of the day because of this idea called M-Pesa. So whoever gave birth to the M-Pesa idea, may God bless them. I always say that concerning this program called Wings to Fly by Equity Bank, Equity Foundation.
Yes.
That idea has a generational impact because of the investment that it has released in the lives of people.
Absolutely.
There are families that will now forever do better because they have their son, their daughter who went through that program, empowered, educated, employed, and now given wings to fly. So sometimes you have to stop yourself and ask, is there anything that I brought to life, and what is the value of that, and how impactful is that?
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, finally, as we finish this conversation, I want to talk about something very powerful that you wrote in the book that is called the culture of intentionality. A lot of times when you think about intentionality, it's an abstract thing in the mind. It's this nice to know thing. It's like a corporate buzzword. But now you have talked about it in your book as a culture. So first of all, culture is this thing that we do
It's a way of life.
because we have accepted it. It helps us.
Yes.
It's a way we approach this and do that and think about this and solve these problems and address these issues. But now you're looking at intentionality as something that can be translated into a culture. First of all, tell me what was going on in your mind when you're calling this thing culture of intentionality, and how does it look like at individual level and at corporate level? Because I think we can institutionalize or culturalize intentionality. I'm keen to hear your thoughts about that.
In most cases, when we are constantly, especially in the organizational level, we normally say when somebody comes into an organization, they can easily tell the nature of the organization by the culture.
Yes.
So culture forms opinions, but culture forms an organization. It's like a way of life. How do you people live? If I walk into Zion Pal Publishers today and I find that there's a structured way of how they do things, I will not start doing things my own way. So you see, already you've created a way, an outlined way of how things ought to be done. So culture will always advise the trajectory or where either an institution or you as a person wants to go. Why do I say that? Because I recently, I think there was an article that was done of somebody who joined an organization and, they went with a different perspective of things. But when you walk into an organization and find things done in a different way, you have no choice but to conform.
Yes.
So what came into mind when this was starting, and I must applaud people who are founders of institutions, organizations, and even in the family setup. If you look at it, the things that we do today are things that we started doing. Somebody will tell you, oh, us guys, when we wake up in the morning, we have to do this, we do this, we do this. That's how we operate in our house. That's already a way of doing things that has held that family together to a point that they don't need to do anything different for them to be able to fit in any other aspect. So this also advises the workplace. And the minute we learn that this is as a result of intentionality, then that generally becomes the culture that we have embraced, a culture of intentionality. Because we are constantly thinking broadly when we think intentionality. But then what in our minds are we, as is like an input that then when it's an output, it impacts, brings value.
Yes.
That again also brings in the play of purpose. So what's our purpose of being? As an institution, in most cases you'll see, and I'll still go back to what we're talking about, strategy. Strategy also advises the fact that what's our purpose of being? Why are we here? Where do we want to see ourselves? Where do we project to be in the near future? So all these things, if you're keen enough to look at them, they are intertwined. They're intertwined, and the minute we tell ourselves this advises this, then it's very easy for us to make such decisions advised by the behaviors that we bring out as people in terms of influencing change. Yeah.
When I listen to you, I think I'm beginning to get a picture that intentionality works best if it is culturalized.
If it's structured. I feel like if it's structured, because structured intentionality is culture. I tend to believe structured intentionality is culture. It forms a culture. But then structured intentionality can still be a culture, but a bad culture. So then here's when also the leaders come in. What examples are we projecting to the rest of the team? And that is where also I think the Bob Collymore story comes in. He projected a humanized way and approach to life in the workforce, in the workplace. And with this, it made it very easy because the culture now accustomed to the fact that anything happening, top of mind is the staff. Top of mind is the people around us. Then if I effect on the people that I'm with here, output, it becomes very easy for them to go out and deliver top-notch services. So for him, it was not just a strategy. For him, he became an example to many who are under him. So it became very easy, and it formed a culture. Yes.
Wow. So it has to be structured. I also think it has to be routinized,
and it has to be one that is to be emulated.
It has to be emulated.
Not just any, because you can have a bad leader and you can't emulate that into a culture. You have to really be very keen on what it is that you take in and, So it has to be one that, it has to go through the lenses to see, is this one that we can embrace or not? Yeah.
It has to be expected or demanded, because intentionality is one of those things, one of those balls you can easily drop, because it's work at the beginning.
It is.
It's work at the beginning.
It is. Especially when we speak about the professional world, where leadership is power is very transient. So when somebody else comes in, they might find a culture which is too solid to shake off. So then that becomes the norm of the place. So you as a leader, when you come, you have to conform. But if you set a bad precedence, then it becomes easy for another leader to come and shape the space that you had already created, which was alien.
That's right.
So you see, culture can work in different ways. Yeah.
Wow. So what you're basically saying here is that it's possible. Intentionality is possible.
Yes.
Intentionality is profitable. It's valuable.
Yes.
It's a powerful way of approaching life, approaching things.
Yes.
Approaching assignments, approaching careers, relationships, marriages, businesses, ministries. Because the return on its investment is good. It's beautiful. But there is work to it. It is possible to achieve it. And as Rebecca has said, if you structure it, you're likely to get it.
Yeah.
If you routinize it, if you embrace it, and if it is championed across different levels, leaders champion for it, subordinates champion for it, and everybody embrace it, then it's possible to translate intentionality from this abstract thing in their head into a tangible thing that shows up in the way you talk, the way you think, the way you dress, the way you deploy yourself, the way you build skills, the way you deliver results, the way you relate with people, either at work, at home, or in any other space that you may find yourself in. Today, I've had the privilege of spending a very long time with Rebecca Mlawasi. You've had for yourself the kind of resource she has, the depth of her thoughts and ideas. And it's been such a lovely, lovely conversation. We've been talking about intentionality and how to use it as a strategy. Now, before we pull down the curtains on this, I want you to face the camera and share with us your parting shots.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Dooso. This has been a very impactful conversation.
Yes.
And one thing I think I'd constantly continue to put an emphasis on is the fact that we are constantly faced with different aspects of life, which expose us to feeling different things in our lives. But then intentionality comes in where we choose the decisions that we make in life. And these decisions that we make in life don't just impact us for today. These are decisions that are going to impact our future. And in the minute we realize that if I make a bad decision today, it will project in my future, then it makes us think differently, get wired differently. And even the impact that we make out here becomes a bit different. So I challenge each and every one of us today. We talked about culture of intentionality. It might not just be on an organizational level, but this also is on a personal level. Creating yourself that culture of intentionality. What intentional things do you want to do that you want to make your life better? This book alone speaks a lot about all that. It speaks about stories of people who have gone or approached life intentionally and they have made it. It also speaks about the different aspects of intentionality you can apply on a day-to-day, and it can make your life better tomorrow. So today I'd call you forth to just get a copy of our book, and it will change your lives and it will impact your life. Thank you so much, Mr. Dooso.
Thank you so much, Rebecca. It's been so nice having you here. And you've had it for yourself. If you are in need of the book, you will check the details that we are sharing in the comment section below. Then you can see how you get that book. I've been your host, Dooso Radido, and today we've been talking about how to use intentionality as a strategy. And this is your favorite podcast, Intentionality Matters podcast. Thank you so much and have yourself a good time. See you another time. Bye.
Thank you.